So ExpressVPN continues to be one of the most popular VPNs out there, especially for anyone who's after something that's fast, private, and just works really well without needing to tweak a bunch of settings. And after reviewing over 30 VPNs at this point, ExpressVPN still comes out on top for me, mainly because of how reliable it is when it comes to streaming, torrenting, and keeping your data secure. It's also one of the easiest VPNs to use, even if you've never touched one before. Now, it's not without a few trade-offs, like the lack of split tunneling for Apple users, but if you're mostly after strong privacy, dependable connections, and smooth streaming, it's a hard one to beat. Also, I'll include links in the description to any current discounts or promos, so feel free to check those out if you're interested. So one of the biggest reasons a lot of people look into VPNs in the first place is for streaming. And this is an area where ExpressVPN stands out in a really good way. They've got over 3,000 servers in 105 countries, and that wide server coverage makes it pretty easy to connect to a region that works for you. What's especially helpful though is just how consistently it works with platforms like Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, Amazon Prime, HBO Max, and others. For example, during testing, I was able to get into over 15 different international Netflix libraries without having to constantly switch servers or troubleshoot anything. And that's one of the most reliable parts of using Express. It doesn't crash midstream or make you dig around for a server that works. So if streaming is one of your main priorities, this is definitely one of the best options for getting around geo restrictions without all the usual hiccups. Now, anytime you're using a VPN, you're going to lose a little bit of speed. That's just the trade-off that comes with encrypting your connection and routing it through another server. But how much speed you lose can really vary depending on which VPN you're using. With ExpressVPN, the performance was excellent. On average, I only saw about a 7% drop in global speeds during testing this year, and if you're connecting to a nearby server, the drop was even less, usually just 4 to 6%. The biggest drop I saw was 25%, and that was on a remote server, which is still well within the range of what I'd consider acceptable. So whether you're gaming, streaming in 4K, or just browsing, ExpressVPN holds up really well. And part of the reason for that is their lightweight protocol, which is both fast and lightweight. It's designed to maintain high performance without sacrificing security, and it's worked really well in every test I've run. Now, for those who are using a VPN to protect their personal data, ExpressVPN is one of the most trustworthy options out there. They've undergone more third-party audits than any other VPN I've tested, 19 in total as of early 2025. That includes audits from firms like KPMG, Cure53, and PwC. And all of those confirm that Express doesn't keep any logs of what you're doing online. There's also a real-world example backing that up. Back in 2017, the Turkish government actually seized one of ExpressVPN's servers during an investigation, but no user data was ever found because there wasn't any to find. Everything runs on RAM-only servers, which automatically wipe all data every time they reboot. And because they're based in the British Virgin Islands, they're outside the 14 Eyes Alliance and not subject to any mandatory data sharing laws. You can even pay with Bitcoin if you want another layer of anonymity. So from a privacy and security standpoint, this is one of the few VPNs where you don't just have to take their word for it. You've got the audits, the policies, and the proof. So ExpressVPN has always been a strong choice for getting around censorship in restrictive countries like China or parts of the Middle East. And for the most part, it still is, but it's worth noting that in 2025, some users in China have reported mixed results depending on their ISP and location. That said, it's still one of the more reliable options for bypassing censorship, and what's nice is that you don't need to install extra plugins or manually configure anything. Just set the protocol to automatic, and Express will enable its built-in obfuscation to help hide your VPN traffic. But if you're planning to travel to a country with heavy restrictions, I'd recommend checking in with their support team first, just to make sure it's working well in that region at the time. Now, when it comes to torrenting, ExpressVPN checks all the right boxes. There are no bandwidth limits, no throttling, and you don't have to worry about using a special set of servers. Every server supports peer-to-peer traffic right out of the box. And since your IP is hidden from other torrenters and your ISP, that gives you a solid layer of privacy. Plus, because of their proven no logs policy, you can torrent knowing there's no record of what you're downloading. Just remember to always follow local laws around file sharing. But from a performance and privacy standpoint, ExpressVPN makes torrenting both easy and secure. So one of the things that really stands out with ExpressVPN is how beginner-friendly it is. The app opens fast, connects in about 1 to 2 seconds, and once you're in, using it is pretty straightforward. Just choose a country and toggle it on. Whether you're on Mac or Android, the app starts up quickly and runs smoothly. And now you can connect up to 8 devices at the same time, which is a nice bump from the older limit of 5. So you can cover your phone, laptop, tablet, and even share it with a couple other people without running into issues. It's one of those apps that just works the way you expect it to. Nothing clunky or confusing about it. So ExpressVPN has always kept things pretty simple. And for a while, that meant it didn't offer as many extras compared to VPNs like Nord. But recently, they've started adding a few more features without making the app feel any more complicated. One of the most useful new additions is something called Advanced Protection. This blocks ads, trackers, and malicious sites. And there's even an option to block adult content if you want basic parental controls built in. Another feature they've added is a built-in password manager. It's included at no extra cost, and it's surprisingly solid. You can store and generate passwords, save your credit card info, and even keep track of your 2-factor codes. And everything's encrypted in a way that even Express can't access your data. Most other VPNs charge extra for features like this. Nord, for example, only includes a password manager in its pricier Plus plan, so having these built in at no extra cost is a huge plus. Now, pricing is probably the one area where ExpressVPN isn't the most competitive, and it's definitely a little higher than most other premium VPNs. The monthly plan is $12.95. The 1-year plan drops to $6.67 per month, and the 2-year plan brings it down to $4.99 a month. So if you're planning to use it long-term, the 2-year plan gives you the best value. And if you change your mind, they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. Also, just a reminder that there are discount links in the description, so feel free to use those if you want to get the best deal possible. So overall, ExpressVPN continues to be the best all-around VPN I've used. It's not the cheapest option out there, but what you're getting in return is a VPN that's fast, secure, and incredibly easy to use. It's great for streaming, torrenting, and even gaming without having to worry about slow speeds or connection drops. The privacy policies are rock solid, there's no throttling or bandwidth caps, and everything from setup to daily use feels polished and straightforward. The only real drawback is that slightly higher price tag, and if you're using an Apple device, the lack of split tunneling might be something to consider. But for most people, those are pretty small trade-offs compared to the level of reliability you're getting here. So hopefully you found this review helpful. If so, please leave a thumbs up, as I always appreciate that. And if you have any questions, just drop those in the comments below. I love getting to answer as many of those as I can. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.